Alright guys, listen. Contract talks heating up. Zeke, Cowboys, they're all, going at it. We're trying to get there. But the one thing I keep seeing is that they're not close. But then I just get a tweet from Jane Slater, notification. I don't know her personally, but I get this notification and it says that it'll be done in the next 48 hours, assumingly. But I don't know. That's an assumption. Jane Slater usually isn't wrong, and she's pretty right on. So we'll see how that goes. I got the conference here, just for anybody that can't see it anywhere else or just don't know how to do it. I don't know what else to say, but I do have it. So sorry, I'm outside. Bugs are itching me. I'm outside in the backyard. My dog's playing. She wouldn't let me go about my day without her coming outside. And I'm trying to test out this new camera for the Note 10 Plus 5G. It's pretty dope. This little pen right here works wonders. It is amazing. That little button, if I can get it to come into view, little button right there is amazing. Oh, here's my dog. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. He's gotta go to the bathroom. But anyway, hopefully we get a deal done. Everybody's saying they really like Pollard. I don't know why. Chun's supposed to be back on the 53-man right now. I don't know exactly why. We've already got 3 guys on there, but we got him on there just in case, I guess. Or maybe special teams, probably. That would be my assumption because it's pretty good. But his IQ is pretty good. So as you'll see in the video that you're about to watch right after me, it'll tell you everything, that I just told you. So that being said, my new video looks pretty legit. I like it. It works out pretty well. I like the blurred background. I can take it off, but why do I need to let you guys see my shit? Maybe one day I'll turn it off, when I'm doing my little fire. What's not, I got a couple grills I gotta get out of here. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 grills. 3 of them are operational. One of them isn't. It was kind of like a fixer upper, but then I went ahead and got another grill from my son. He got me for my birthday or Father's Day. I think it was Father's Day. Don't tell him. But he probably gonna watch this and confront me on it. But anyway, hey, right from there. But anyway, it's his birthday today. He just turned 15. I'm only 33. My son's 15. Isn't that crazy? But he's in high school. Oh, calm down, Tiny. What are you doing? It's my daughter. She's scared of everything. Very emotional. But anyway, we got that Giants game coming up this week. We gonna whoop them. We got the Giants, versus the Cowboys, Anyway, if I see anything about Zeke, I did see some stuff about Dez, so he'd be ready by October, so kind of curious to see who picks him up or what happens with that. I don't think anybody isn't curious about it, to be quite honest. Dez is pretty good. Even in the red zone, just strictly red zone threat, like Dez is a beast. But anyway, that's all I really got, man, is I got this conference, and I got that there's high hopes that in the next 48 hours, Zeke will have his deal done. So, that being said, please let that man be in football shape and ready for the Giants. At least 15 carries, 12, 15 carries. That would make me feel good, see him get out there, get that work in. But as far as it goes, man, that's really all I got for you. So y'all hit me up. Peace, love, and chicken grease. I'm out. Check this little button out right here. Watch.
Come take a little walk with me through my neighborhood and come spend a day in my trail. Get your paper right there, yeah, some good, but just keep it tool in your left. My little partner holding that word. Nigga won't wait to keep around bad. Better not violate on my
this week, and is there a point in the week where, given the fact he hasn't been in training camp, it's unrealistic to expect him to contribute in the opener?
Yeah, we're just focused on the guys who are here right now, and So we're going to go out and practice with the guys who have been here and prepare to play with those guys. And Zeke's been a big part of our team. We love him. And, once he gets back here, we'll try to get him as integrated as quickly as possible.
How long would it take to integrate Ezekiel Elliott into the game plan?
Again, that's a hypothetical. Zeke is as capable as anybody I know. He's an experienced player. He's been a really good player for us. He knows our system of football. I don't think there'll be a lot of learning there. He's a smart guy. He's an instinctive guy. So, but again, that's a hypothetical. We're just focused on the guys we have right now. We're going to go practice as well as we can to prepare the right way to play the Giants.
Would it fall more under conditioning than knowing what to do for a guy who's missing much time?
Yeah, don't really know that specific to Zeke. Obviously, we try to be very deliberate in starting our players in the preseason. There's a playing progression that we have every year with our guys. But again, this is a different situation than that. You try to treat each situation on its merits, specifically based on the guy and what the particular situation is.
But given the situation now, you approach the week as if he won't be here, and that's how you're preparing for this game at the moment.
Again, we're just focused on our football team now. We're going to practice at 10:45. It'll be an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to go out and practice as well as we can. And that's really where our attention is.
You did have a situation where he missed 6 games because of the suspension. When did you see him get back in his groove during that situation?
Yeah, again, our focus is on what we need to do today. And with the guys that we have, had a good walkthrough this morning, good meetings this morning. We're going to go out and have a good Monday practice as a bonus day in our preparation for the Giants.
What is your confidence level in the guys behind Zeke if he's not here?
Yeah, I feel good about those guys. They've gotten a lot of work through training camp, a lot of work through the preseason. Excited to see them play, and we'll continue to work with them all week long to get those guys ready to go.
Pollard wasn't a guy who had a lot of carries during his college career, but from what you saw of him in camp, can he certainly do that for you in small doses?
Well, I feel good about Tony. Tony's done everything we've asked him to do as a runner, as a protector, as a receiver. There aren't really any issues that we have with him. He's a smart football player. We thought that when he was coming out of school. It's one of the reasons we liked him. He showed versatility to be able to help your team a lot of different ways, and he stepped in here and done a really good job. Does not seem too big for him. He's handled the work as we've given it to him. We've been aggressive with his with the installation with him. He's been with the ones a lot, and again, he hasn't blinked. He's played well in the preseason games. He's played well in practice. Feel good about him.
You guys have signed or are signing Jordan Chun to the roster. What does he bring in that special team element that you don't have with those other running backs?
Yeah, we like Jordan. He's done a really good job for us. He's grown as a player, both as a runner, a receiver, a protector, and as a teams guy. And so he has a big body. He shows that he can have some versatility on special teams, and we'll just see how that all plays out. We're a little banged up at linebacker right now, so he can fill that role for us, and he's done a good job for us.
How do you feel about the readiness of your team overall to start the season?
Yeah, again, we have all week to prepare for this game. This is a bonus day for us. Guys did a good job on Friday coming in and getting their work done, and they were off the last couple of days, and now we've just met and walked through, and now we'll have practice. So we'll take it one day at a time. Not really ready to make any overarching statements about the readiness of our team, just really kind of focused on what we need to do today to get ourselves ready to go.
Will Myron Cooper practice today?
Yes, he will. He will practice.
Tyron and Zach Martin.
Yeah, all those guys who have been out should do something in practice today. Some might be limited, but we do anticipate them getting some work in.
Is today's practice a Cowboys versus Giants practice, or is it more Cowboys versus Cowboys?
We're going to work against the Giants today.
How does the language from training camp to week 1 with you addressing the team kind of shift, getting these guys in the regular season mindset?
I don't know that the overarching themes change, but there's no question we made a lot of decisions over the last few days. We had 90 guys in here, on Friday morning, and now we've cut it down. We got 53 guys on the active roster and 10 practice squad players, and we've had to make some hard decisions. And guys who are here are part of our team right now, and obviously we're just locked in on what we need to do today to get ourselves ready to play against the Giants. So it goes from what I need to do to make the team. Those discussions are over with. We made those decisions. They weren't easy decisions, but we did what we thought was best for our team. And now the player's off a couple days. You come in this morning, we're locked in on what the challenge is on Sunday.
Does the atmosphere in the facility feel any different when you get to a regular season game as opposed to what we just had during the training camp?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question there's a different feel to it. And really what I just described, there's a lot of guys trying to make the football team. And, we make those decisions, and now we're locked in on getting ready for the Giants. And that's really what the focus, that's what the mindset is. And, there's a level of intensity that comes with regular season games that's different than when you go through the off-season program or go through training camp. And so important for us to have a good day today.
Do you expect that Connor McGovern's will be able to play this season, or is the season over?
We'll have to wait and see. We've been trying to give him every chance possible to play, and what happened was he tweaked that pec strain again the other day. So we're gonna do some work with him, with the transactions here in the next day or so, and kind of get that squared away. But we do anticipate him being on injured reserve, but with the opportunity to come back at some point if he does recover.
You had another guy, Rolando McClain, unexpectedly came back and you have his rights. Has a decision been made on what you will do with his rights?
We haven't had a lot of specific discussions about Rolando.
What did you see? Maher had a stretch where in practice where he missed some, and then early in preseason games. What did you see and how he responded after that, and what did he do differently where you have confidence going into the season?
Yeah, he's just been a good kicker for us. He made a lot of big kicks for us last year, and just handled the work well. I mean, he was in some pressure situations. We won a lot of games at the end of the game, and he was a big part of that. So we have a lot of confidence in what he's been able to do for us. And, he's a professional. His approach is outstanding. He's very consistent in his mindset and his mentality every day to get his work done the right way. And typically when you're around guys like that at any position, particularly that position, that leads to good results. And that's what he's had for us since he's been with us.
Travis Frederick has talked about his recovery as a series of steps. A regular season game would be the next step. How do you feel about him going into that game, and is there any limitation?
Yeah, I feel good about him. Obviously, you have to ask him specifically how he feels, but from our vantage point, everything he's done has been outstanding. Starting with his work last year, with our team, being such a leader for our team when he couldn't play, but then how he worked so hard to get himself back. Not only from the condition that he had, but a couple surgeries that he had, and he's just a pro. He's a great example to the rest of us about how to go about your job and really be your best each and every day. And again, when you approach it that way, good things are happening. And he's been able to come back. He's played very well in the preseason. We're excited to see him play this Sunday.
How was Donovan Wilson potentially out, and did that impact some of your decisions in the secondary?
His injury?
Yes.
Not necessarily. Donovan was a good player for us through training camp and through the preseason. Made a lot of plays on the ball. Unfortunately, he is banged up. Don't know if he's going to be available this week, but that did not impact the 53-man roster.
How tough was those decisions at DB, because you got, I think, 10, so talk about just what you had to do there.
Yeah, all of those decisions were hard. Some of the guys we have on the practice squad, Donovan Alumba and Mike Jackson, those are good players. Those guys did some good things for us. But again, you have to make hard decisions, and you want to get yourself to a point with your team that it's competitive, that the discussions are long, the discussions are hard. It's hard to decide between these two guys because you really like both of them. You like to keep both of them. So, we had those discussions. We felt like the guys that we kept in the secondary, the 10 guys on the active roster, were worthy of those opportunities, and felt good about getting Donovan back and Mike back, and want to continue to develop those guys as well.
What's your confidence level in your backfield from a pass protection standpoint? What has that group shown you in that area?
Yeah, I feel good about those guys. Again, Tony Pollard has shown a real maturity since he's been here. There hasn't been anything that's really surprised him or he looks like a rookie or looks out of place. And tribute to his intelligence as a guy, his football intelligence, how hard he's working at it. Gary Brown's done an excellent job with him, and he's been able to handle that stuff. And some of the other guys, Alfred Morris is an experienced player. Jameis Alawalu's done some of that for us in the past. So each of those guys definitely can go in that role and handle it well, handle it the way we need to get it done.
For a rookie like Pollard, what's bigger when it comes to pass protection, the mental side of it or the physical?
It's probably a combination. It definitely starts with the mental, though. Defenses can challenge you with the looks, particularly on third down and passing situations. And so the importance of communication, everybody being on the same page, knowing who you have, that's where it starts. And then hopefully you're confident enough there where you can physically go block the guy. If there's any hesitation, that's when you get in trouble blocking guys because you're not really sure, and all of a sudden this rusher who I'm responsible for is in my face. So it starts with the mental, having that kind of confidence, but then physically getting it done. We think he's capable of doing both.
What area have you seen the most growth in Dak during the offseason through that?
Yeah, you guys asked me that question a lot about Dak, and my answer is really the same. You know, he comes to work every day and really tries to improve every aspect of his game. You know, from the leadership part, from the technical part, the fundamental part, his understanding, and that's why he's grown as a player. He's had that attitude and that mentality right from the start. He's never been a guy who said, oh, I got that down pat, now I got to go work on that. You know, he's always working on his game and every aspect of it. Great example of the rest of his teammates.
How hard is it to game plan for this first opponent? And a lot of the games, obviously, for them recently have been limited. They haven't shown probably as much as they're going to show you on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the challenge that everybody has in this first regular season game, and really in the early part of the season, because you don't really have your typical 4 games to watch, to break down, to go through. And, you know, so you try to be a little creative. Obviously, this is a division opponent, so we know them well. They know us well. That's part of the deal. You go back to last year's games, previous years, preseason games. You try to figure out, you know, what you think you're going to see in all 3 phases. I think in general, teams don't necessarily show that much in the preseason. You try to decide what you think is real, what you think is going to be a part of what you'll see this week, and try to piece it all together.
With that in mind, what kind of advantage do you guys have that there really isn't a lot of tape out there of what Kellen Moore is doing as an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, again, I just think that's probably what it is around the league. You know, most offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, you know, don't really show what they're going to do in the regular season all throughout the preseason. So that's just one of the challenges that everybody has, you know, going into week 1 and week 2 and even into week 3. There's just not a lot out there. So you just try your best to focus on what you need to do as a team and then try to piece the rest of it together.
Is it a new wrinkle you see from that opponent, kind of the inevitable, given your...
Yeah, I think you always have to do a great job communicating in the early games. That's always a point of emphasis for you as a coaching staff and with your team, but early on in particular, you know, just making sure you adjust the right way. Hey, we haven't seen that. What are they doing? Just making sure everybody's on the same page throughout the ball game and you're able to adjust the way you need to.
What's the biggest challenge in defending Saquon Barkley?
Just a great football player. There's no other way to say it. He was a great player in college. I think we all saw it. And then when the Giants drafted him, you know, we saw it week in and week out last year. He's a great runner. He's a great receiver. He can run inside. He can run outside. He makes tough yards inside. He can make home run plays. His ability to get through holes, bounce plays, reverse his field. He's an outstanding receiver. When the ball's in his hands, he's just dynamic. So you have to be great, fundamentally sound, disciplined defense. You have to be in your gaps. You have to set edges. You have to rally to the ball. You have to be great tacklers. You have to have a lot of guys to the ball. And you have to do it again and again and again and again and again. You know, he's the classic guy, makes 2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, 4 yards, 80, right? Like all the elite backs through the history of the NFL. So every time that ball snapped, you got to hunker down and make sure you're doing things the right way and go get this guy. He's an elite football player.
How would you characterize your defense this year after seeing their work in training camp and the preseason and just the youth of this group?
Yeah, again, I think it's too early for any characterizations, assessments, all of that stuff. We're really focused on today's practice. Certainly love how our team works. All 3 phases, these guys come to work every day. And we try to create that kind of environment for them. And it's a competitive situation. We go out on that practice field every day. The guys embrace that. So I know that about them. I know they're a driven group of guys who are willing to work and do what's necessary. And, you know, we'll have an opportunity this week to start establishing our identity in all 3 phases of our team.
Thank you.
All right, good to see you guys.
White, Taylor, Prescott stumbles, stays afloat, looks downfield, fires deep downfield, and it will be caught by Austin.
Arguably the greatest pass rusher in our time, J.J. Watt. He gets away from him, puts a hand down, under pressure, escapes again, takes it and throws it as far as he can down the field.
It's coming. Watch it hit as he throws, and it is intercepted at the 31-yard line. This is...
Hey!